אם לא אעלה, אם לא אעלה את ירושלים הראש, שמחתי על ראש, על ראש שמחתי. אם אשכחך ירושלים, תשכח ימיני, תדבק לשוני ולחיקי, אם לא נזכרכי. אם אשכחך ירושלים, תשכח ימיני, תדבק לשוני ולחיקי, אם לא אזכרכי. אם לא אעלה, אם לא אעלה את ירושלים הראש, שמחתי על ראש, על ראש שמחתי. יפה רעייתי, הנך יפה רעייתי, כשושנה, כשושנה בין החוכים, שושנה בין החוכים. הנך יפה רעייתי, הנך יפה רעייתי, כשושנה, כשושנה בין החוכים, שושנה בין החוכים. כשושנה, כשושנה, כשושנה בין החוכים, כשושנה יפה רעייתי כשושנה בין החורכים, שושנה בין החורכים, כשושנה.
Okay, are we ready? Please. Are we ready? Yes? Is everybody seated? Parents? But mostly on behalf of a very, very special young lady, to this very, very special day. The sun even came out in Montreal on her behalf. So join me in welcoming first Michael.
It's a very special and meaningful irony to me that the last time I was standing in this room in front of you, Julie and I just got married, and I spoke about how I was the luckiest guy in the world to be marrying such a beautiful, smart, and amazing woman. Today I get to stand up here once again, but this time to brag about two of the loves of my life, and to tell you all a little more about a very special mother and our beautiful princess Olivia. Before we start, I should let everyone know that Julia met me that almost 4 years later, most people in this room still don't know who I am. I never stood a chance getting noticed when I was just standing next to Julia. Can you imagine what my chances look like now that Olivia's in this? I'd like to reread something I said during my wedding speech. I'm addicted to Julia's drive and the devotion and care with which she approaches everything in life. Whether it's her work, planning the details of his wedding, or even something as simple as what kind of pizza we should order. As I stand here today, I am certain that what I said back then could not have been more true. Except now I have an entirely new perspective, watching Julia take care of Olivia and becoming what I like to call supermom. During her pregnancy, being the hard-working champ that she's always been, Julia didn't slow down at all, actually working up until the very last second and going to the hospital for work. How many women do you know that stand on the sidelines of a basketball court screaming with the same intensity as she always did a week before giving birth? The real icing on the cake is that last weekend her team won the championship and Julia received the award for Best Coach of the Year. And she was Julia didn't flinch once during 9 months. About 5 minutes later, with my heart rate still at 200, Julia says, "I want another one." Julia, I'm never going to stop telling this story, and I'll repeat it to Olivia a million times because it perfectly explains so many of the things that I love about you. You're strong, driven, and hilarious, and you remind me every day why you're my better half. Over these last 8 weeks with Olivia, you've changed my understanding of what it is to love and to care, and to put someone else first. And Olivia and I are both extremely lucky to have you. You ask Olivia every morning, "Are you a happy baby?" Sweetheart, I promise you that it's impossible that she isn't with you as her mother. Now, the real reason we're all here today, other than giving me a chance to brag about Julia, is to celebrate our beautiful baby girl, Olivia. We're the luckiest people on earth, and I feel especially fortunate to have such a gorgeous little girl that clearly got her looks from Julia and seems to be of above average height. She's given us a sense of pride, love, and purpose that I frankly could never put into words. Olivia's Hebrew name means light and is dedicated to Julia's father and Olivia's grandfather, Munir, which also means light in Arabic. Munir has an incredibly special place in Julia's heart, and by extension mine, and he has redefined what it is to be caring and loving as a father. It's already abundantly clear that he's doing exactly the same with his role as a grandfather. Was chosen both for starting with the letter S and for the way it sounds, to honor my late grandmother, my mother's mother, Simi. Simi was simply the best, and I will forever cherish the amazing memories I have of her. She would have been head over heels in love with Olivia, just as she was with Julia. I love making Simi proud of me, which is how I felt when I married Julia, and it's exactly how I feel every time I look at Olivia. I'm very grateful to have such a beautiful little girl to remind me of such a beautiful person. I'd like to end on a very important note by thanking a few special people that made this day as beautiful as it was. Julia, Joyce, and Munir, you set the bar extremely high at our wedding, and you have somehow managed to outdo yourselves. I'm very grateful that you continue to ensure that our most important life events are celebrated in style and surrounded by the whole communauté, as Julia would say. Mom and Dad, you've been better parents than a son ever could have asked for, and I promise you that I have every intention of following by your example. Norma, you once again helped us put together a beautiful ceremony, so please don't be surprised when I say that we'd like to book you right now for 2029 when Olivia celebrates her bat mitzvah. And of course, drink.
Of our firstborn, she opened, freed, and liberated the womb of her mother. Holy is she to Adonai, as it is written, consecrate to me every firstborn, man and beast. The first issue of every womb among the Israelites is mine. Now it is good in our eyes and our desire to redeem her. And here is the money of redemption and halloween.
Thank you.
Zot nechtanu v'poratenu hi, Patar rechem li'ima, Kodesh hi l'Adonai, ki katuv, Kadesh li kol l'chor Patar kol rechem b'nei Yisrael, v'adam v'hema lihu, v'tov v'einenu b'totav, b'nei kesef, v'bunyan v'kiyushav.
May the mother rejoice in the fruit of her womb. As it is written, let your parents be happy, let her give birth thrill with joy.
Footsteps of the great leaders of whose deeds continue to shine across the ages of the world. We praise you, God, and the Torah lives the generation to generation.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvot v'tzivanu.
Who has made us holy through your commandments and commanded us to bring our daughter into the covenant of the people of Israel.
Achotei et Adonai v'alchi v'rabah yisamech Elohim Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Yivarech Adonai Yishmerech Ya'ar Adonai panav aleich u'varech v'chneit Yaseh Adonai panav aleich v'yisid lachem shalom. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
His face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. Adonai lift up his face to you and grant you peace.
I feel very honored that Julia and Mike asked me to help them with this wonderful celebration. I'm standing here today in front of you, bringing my husband with me. I could only do this in his name, in his love that he has for all of you, but especially for Julia, and now for Olivia Sidney. Yonati b'chavdei hasela b'seiter hamadrega, hareini et marech, hashmieni et kolech, ki kolech arei u'marech nava. Achati Yonati tamati, achati li'ima, barahi li'odatai, ra'uha banot yashruha, melachot filashim v'yalavuha. The darling of her mother, the choice one of her who bore her, daughters saw her. They acclaimed her, queens and consorts, they sang her praises. Misha Beirach Sarava Rivka Rachel Leah Miriam Hanaviyah Abigail, the Esther Hamalka Bat Abichail, Uyivarech et Hayalda Hani'ima Hazot, V'yikarei Shma Ora, Bat Julia. במזל טוב ובשעת ברכה, ויגדליה בבריאות שלום ומנוחה, ויזכיה את אביה ואת אמה, לראות בשמחתה וחופתה, בבנים זכרים וילדות. עושר וכבוד, שנים ורעננים, ומקום ושיבה. וכן יהי רצון ונאמר, May God who blessed our mothers, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, Miriam the prophetess, Abigail, and Esther the queen, bless this darling babe in happy goodwill. May her name be called Olivia Sidney, Ora, daughter of Julia and Michael. May God bless her to grow up in good health, in happiness, in wisdom and good deeds like those of her family. May God give her parents the joy of seeing her happily grown in wisdom, in kindness, a radiant mother of future children, rich in honor and joy to a ripe old age. May this week be the will of God, and let us all say Amen. And now she's going to drink wine. Like that, huh? Good stuff.
Olivia, I'll always remember the day we met. I fell in love with you the instant I laid eyes on you. I held you in my arms. I couldn't believe that you were here, that you were mine. I was struck by your innocence. I made a promise to myself that day that I was going to do everything in my power to protect you. So that first night in the hospital, I stayed up all night and watched you sleep. So quiet and so peaceful. Every once in a while, I would reach into your bassinet and put my hand on your tiny little stomach. I wanted to make sure that you were okay, that you were still there, that you were real. I always thought the first letter I wrote you would be full of advice. The truth is, I'm not entirely sure that I'm ready to write that type of letter. If giving birth to you has shown me anything, it's how much more I have to learn. You've taught me so much in the past few months. I've learned how important it is to smile, to laugh, not just for yourself, but for those around you. Don't get me wrong, nice gestures are very important, but there's nothing that people who love you want more than to see you happy. You've shown me that the best moments in life happen when you least expect them. You can stage all the pictures you want, but if you put your camera down at the wrong time, you may miss the perfect shot. You've taught me that sometimes words fall short when comforting someone who's upset, and what they really need is simply to be held. They may not realize it, they may even fight you, but the harder they fight you, the more they need it. You've reminded me that what matters most is not what you have in your home, but who you have there with you. Life is not about things, it's about people. You've taught me that there's no love in the world quite like unconditional love. There aren't many people in your life who will be able to give that to you. When you find them, don't ever let them go. You've allowed me to see beauty in things I once took for granted. Being able to share even the simplest thing with you has helped me appreciate them so much more. You never see things more clearly than you do when you look at them through the eyes of a child. Since you've come into my life, I've learned to appreciate silence. In a time where we are constantly being bombarded with information designed to keep our attention, we sometimes forget that the most meaningful interactions we have can happen when you're saying nothing at all. Olivia, there will come a time in your life when you will forget all these things. You will get caught up with where you're supposed to be and who you are supposed to be there with. I promise you, when that day comes, I will be ready. I will hold you in my arms with a big smile on my face, and I will reteach you all the things you taught me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hagomel v'chaim l'chayim tovot shegemala kol tov.
Risha Gmalech Kol Tov, Gmalech Kol Tov, Selah. Mazel Tov. Michael, just keep on. Michael and Julia are going to say a Shechianu, and we're going to say a real Amen. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shechechiyanu v'kiyamanu v'higyanu b'zman hazeh. Amen. Mazel tov. That's it. She's named. She exists.
Non, il faut qu'elle remplisse l'assiette. Elle doit remplir l'assiette, elle n'a pas sa machine. Shoshana